Yeah, about to get this thing going. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah, damn right. Let's get to it. You damn right. You damn right. You damn right. What it do? What it do? Snacks in the building. Live coming from the sanctuary early on a Friday morning, March the 4th. What it do? Yeah, you see it. You see it. How about them dogs? How about them dogs? Never mind that. Let's get to it. First off, shouts out to the rest of the pre-gamers. Maine, the Ashen One, much love. Dunson, K-Mac, love to see you, bruh. Blacks, Jerome. Hey, we finna get together and Clutch, Bobby Crux. Hey, what it do, fellas? Uh, we got a lot going on today. A lot going on today. It's been a little while since I was able to get to y'all, but I'm back to do what I'm gonna call this is the March Madness movie review marathon. I got 5 movies to cover. I got no time to get to mess around. So off the muscle, let's get to it. Toast to freedom. Mm-hmm. 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 Ah! Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Woo! Woo! Ah, man. Real quick, that shouts out to the homegirl Karina, came through, brought a bottle of this good old tequila we got right here, left at the house as a parting gift. She knows to appreciate you, babe. Love you. Trying to get together quick, soon for another outing. Much love. Now, I know I was here probably like a month ago trying to do more reviews, and I had a formula I was going to go by, basically saying, well, I was going to do one movie in the theaters, one movie like on streaming like Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime or Disney Plus, and then maybe like one throwback. That was the plan, but then life happened. My man's came back in town, being gone for a few months. Holla at your tone. Back in the GA, went out for his birthday. He hit, you know what I'm saying, the glorious 40 coming behind you, my nigga. And then other things, trying to get things together. So I haven't had time to do any reviews. I've been watching movies, and I got 5 movies today that we got to talk about and get through. Because like I said, it's March Madness, and it's going to be a movie review marathon. Without further ado, let's get to it. So I figured we'd go in the order of how I saw the movies. Because I start when the year started. I don't slack off. If they put them in the theaters, Snap's going to be there to see them. So the first movie that I saw was one of the first releases of this year, and it was the 355. The 355 is technically a spy movie, a female femme fatale movie starring Jessica Chastain, Diane Kruger. Wow. Wow. For 12 Years a Slave, what's the name? Won an Oscar. Penelope Cruz, not her. Penelope Cruz, and then I can't think of her name. I just lost it just that fast. And then a nice lady of the Asian persuasion, who I can't think of her name. Um, it's a it's a spy movie about women trying to receive an artifact. It is all crossed their path some sort of way, and they all are trying to find ways to get that movie and retrieve it. So it's a lot of action. It's a good action movie. The story is lacking. If you are an avid movie watcher or TV watcher, some things kind of stand out. Okay, like, wait a minute, I've seen this guy. He's a big star. He's in the movie. Okay, that's cool. He's in the movie. That's what's up. Wait a minute. He dies in the first 20 minutes, but he dies off screen and you don't see him? Huh. That seems familiar or kind of funny. Well, we'll see what happens. And then it kind of falls victim to classic movie bad guy tropes. As they talked about in The Incredibles, one of my favorite animated Pixar movies, monologuing. Not saying somebody monologue, but it's like the classic James Bond movies. If you have James Bond down and gonna kill him, why would you walk away and not wait till he's done to make sure that he's dead? Surely, if you do this, it's gonna come back to haunt you. And yep, sure enough, within 30 minutes, it's come back to haunt you. Overall, I'll say the movie was the action of the movie was good. It had some good points in it. The locations they went to were great. However, it seemed like the locations were there just to boost the movie. Like they weren't actually necessary for the movie. They just wanted to have a diverse group of places to go for scenery so that it looks good. And it does look good. The action scenes are good. The story is nothing you haven't seen before. We have to get this from the bad guys or else they can take over the world and do awful things. And that's pretty much it. I saw it. Was it enjoyable at the time? Yes, it was. It was enjoyable, minus the little plot points that I already discussed earlier. As in, if you want to kill these people and they're dangerous, why don't you just stay there and kill them? Why are you walking away before they turn up dead? If you let them go, they're gonna come back and cause you trouble. And yep, sure enough. Overall, I'll give the 355 a C minus D plus, somewhere around there. It's not a bad watch. I don't regret seeing it. If you like action movies and beautiful women, you will love it. The story is a little bit lacking, and some things are predictable. That being the case, I'll give it a C minus D plus. Do I want to watch it again? Nah. If it was on and nothing else was on, would I watch it? Maybe so. Other than that, it's kind of a run-of-the-mill action spy movie, and of course, they left it open just in case there was going to be a sequel. But considering how it did in the theaters, I doubt that's going to happen. Moving on. Sorry. Excuse me. I know that it's currently 6:36 in the morning, but Snacks works nights, and he's getting ready to lie down a little bit. So while it's early for y'all, it's late for Snacks, and he needs to get himself a cocktail real quick. Excuse me one second. Never forget, we are the pre-gamers. Moving on. The second movie I've seen this year is Scream. A new movie in the old franchise that tried to do its best, in my opinion, to capture the essence of the original movie. By now, I think that everybody has seen or at least heard of Scream. The original movie came out more than 25 years ago. Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, Drew Barrymore, um, Matthew Lillard, to just name a few. Jamie Kennedy in the original, of course. The first Scream is iconic. It's an iconic movie, especially for horror movies, because it kind of took everything we know about horror slashers and put it on display for everyone to see. It was the first time I ever heard of the term. I think maybe meta. It was meta for the time, and I think this movie tries to recapture that. All of the movies have that meta feeling, but this one I think comes the closest to capturing what Scream did. The original Scream did 25 years ago. Hence why it's titled Scream and not Scream 4 or Scream 5. I'm sorry. Um, Scream 1 movie, Scream 2 sequel, Scream 3 trilogy, Scream 4 reboot. And in each one of those movies, they're trying to capture the essence of that. This movie, Scream, I think they may have coined the term in the movie. They actually talk about it in the movie, making it a requel, like a reboot sequel, where it tries to go back and capture the essence of the original movie. Most of the same people you know there, Courtney Cox once again, David Arquette, Nev Campbell. The original three survivors from the original trilogy and the quadrilogy are there, plus some new gentlemen. I can't think of his name. John Huey from The Boys is one of the main characters. There's a nice young lady there whose role is pivotal to the movie. I think she was in The Heights, but I can't think of her name right there. I believe it's something Barrera. Um, I liked it. Was it as good as the first movie? I don't think so. Um, was it better than the third and fourth? I think so. I think it's more close in line with what the first movie had in store, and I think it did. I think it did a really good job, a very good job. It even comes on similar to how the first movie came on with Drew Barrymore in the beginning. Uh, Not going to give any spoilers away. The movie was good. Um, they talk about reboots and sequels and how movies have progressed. All of that they discuss in the movie, and on top of that, they try that is a pivotal like plot point of the movie itself. So once again, it is meta. People die, people get slashed. I don't want to give. There are some surprises in the movie that I don't know if anybody expected, and I think it was enjoyable. I think I liked it a lot. Is it the best movie in the world? No, it's not. But it's something if you like the franchise, I do not see why you would not like Scream that just came out. I will give Scream 2022 a B minus, a B minus. Not a C plus, not a straight up B, but a B minus. It's enjoyable, and I can see myself watching it again in the future when I ever have the time and I'm not watching new movies. So it's a good flick, and if you like the franchise, there is no reason on earth why you wouldn't want to watch it. And I, in my opinion, like what you saw. That takes us to our third movie. Right up my lane, the movie Moonfall. Big, sort of. It's not really a big budget now I'm thinking about it, but big effects movie, big effects sci-fi movie, along the vein of the original Independence Day, where things get destroyed. However, in the theater, I'll say this: things get destroyed, but you can tell they didn't spend a lot on making it believable that the things getting destroyed were actual real life buildings. Um, in my opinion, I'm watching it and I'm looking at, wait a minute, that's a model. That's a model getting destroyed. That's supposed to be the real building. How to describe Moonfall? It's, if you're a sci-fi fan like I am, I do not see how you wouldn't like the movie. It is over the top, incredibly overboard, but sometimes that's where science fiction has to go, in my opinion. And it does that. The premise of the movie, I know I didn't get into the premise of the 355, well, or Scream, but you kind of get what it is. Spy movies and spy movies, and Scream and Scream. In this movie, the issue is the moon is out of orbit and it's getting closer and closer to Earth, and of course that causes massive issues with our gravity, tides, so many things that the moon affects on Earth. And by it being out of orbit, getting closer to the moon, it would cause havoc. That being said, if you saw the trailers, I don't really want to spoil it for you, but if you've seen the trailers for Moonfall with Halle Berry and Patrick Wilson of the Conjuring franchise, and I think his name is John Bradley, Sam from the Game of Thrones. Those are the three main protagonists of the movie. They have to go to the moon and try to fix what is going on. And if you can tell from the trailers, the moon is somewhat hollow and mechanized. That's as far as I'll go. The moon is somewhat is hollow, and it seems to be some sort of machine, and they must fix the machine. Now it goes way past what I'm saying to get even more ridiculous. If you like the ridiculous, you'll like this movie. As some people say, sometimes you have to put common sense aside. It's not one of those movies for you to nitpick about, well, this could happen because blah, 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 blah. Don't do that. But as far as a good sci-fi movie with a unique concept and a specific way they have to go about resolving the issue and the effects that it would happen if it happened in real life, it was pretty good. I liked it. I liked it. I think it's gotten panned on IMDb, on Rotten. I don't think it's done high critically, but when I saw the trailers and saw the movie, I didn't expect anything realistic. And then from the trailer, you can see that the moon is somewhat hollow and has machine parts in it, so none of that was surprising. And I think there was a twist in the movie that I liked that goes, it is in the vein of a lot of other science fiction movies. It has a main plot point of a lot of science fiction movies. If I said what those movies were, it might spoil some of the surprises. And as always, we're not trying to spoil movies. We're trying to review them so you can have a good idea of, should I see this or should I not see this. This isn't one of Snacks Sanctuary. The Sanctuary synopsis is not a critical tool to discuss whether or not the sound editing was magnificent or the props were good. The synopsis is here for you to let you know whether or not, if you like certain kinds of movies, whether you should see this movie and if you would like this kind of movie. We're not too highbrow. Snacks is not scared to tell you that he likes a movie that isn't good. For instance, I haven't seen them. Some people like Sharknado. And if you watch a movie called Sharknado, you kind of need to know what you're in the mood for. Like, yeah, so you telling me there are sharks in tornadoes? Yeah. Going into that, you should be able to set your standards aside to see what it is you want to watch. And so, the Snatch's only purpose here is to let you know if you're in this kind of vein of a movie, if you would like it or if you would not. Now, some movies that come out at some point in time that may have that kind of Oscar buzz about them, and we can delve into, like, cinematography, story, plot points, the overall acting being done. But in general, my only point, Snacks' only point, is to give you enough information so you can decide whether or not you want to go see the movie, or if you just, you know what, I'll pass. Um, Moonfall, I liked it. I liked what it was. I knew what it was when I was going to see, and it's kind of what I expected outside of a twist, which I found interesting. It didn't spoil the movie for me. It didn't make it for me. It was just interesting, and I can live with that. I myself would give Moonfall for sci-fi geeks who like, unique concepts and ideas. I'll give it a solid B. Yes, I'll give it a solid B. I know I gave the 355 a C minus D plus, Scream a B minus. I'm gonna give Moonfall a B. Now, is it better than Scream? I'm not saying that, but I'm saying what I'm saying is, in the vein of what the movie was, and what you and my expectations of what I was going to see, I give it a B. There you have it. Next, next we have up a video game movie, which was a long time in the making. One, Uncharted. You know the cast. Spider-Man's in it. You know Tom Holland, of course. Um, and then Max Payne is in it, aka Mark Wahlberg. It's a movie about the Uncharted video game franchise. How do I put it? Now, in my opinion, Tom Holland looks kind of young to be playing uh, Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake. However, I believe this is probably probably an origin story for the character, so it would make sense that he's kind of young. But in my opinion, Tom Holland just looks young, even though he's in his mid 20s. So, um, in my opinion, Uncharted is one of the best video game adaptations that you can see on screen. I remember they did Tomb Raider. Uncharted and Tomb Raider, video game wise, are the same, are in the same vein of video games. Action adventure, puzzle solving, some shoot 'em ups, and they've had three Tomb Raider movies. The two with Angelina Jolie, and then the one with Alicia Vikander. After the new vein of the new recent trilogy of Tomb Raider movies, I think, in my opinion, the Uncharted does a better job than the other Tomb Raiders, and that's the only thing I really have to rate them by, because they're so similar. I think the story isn't really unique. It's treasure hunt. That's what Tomb Raider is. Treasure hunt. You trying to find a tomb and raid it for the treasures in there. Uncharted is trying to find a hidden Uncharted treasure. I think this Uncharted did it a little bit better than the old Tomb Raiders have. If you like the game, I don't think how you would not like the movie. It has a lot of the original characters. Sully is in it, along with Nathan Drake as a kind of a mentor figure, kind of antagonist. Not really a bad, not really a good guy. He's kind of there. The action scenes are good. One thing I can say about the movie is this: when I played Uncharted and when I played Tomb Raiders, and once again I pick Tomb Raider because they're in the same vein of video game movies, my preference of the games is like puzzle solving and moving up, traversing the landscape to get to a specific point. Well, you see, I have to get here, and then I must either go up this mountain or go down this path a certain kind of way to get here, and you have to figure it out yourself. As far as the shooting goes in the games, the like guns and all that kind of action, that's not really my favorite parts of either of the franchises. I like more of the puzzle solving and the traversing the landscape to get where I have to get. And I found myself wanting more of that in the movie. So in my opinion, they did a good job because it's a pretty good representation of what you see in the games on screen. You even see at some point in time the main characters of the franchise in their traditional uniforms. One thing you can't say for instance, the latest Tomb Raider with Alicia Vikander, she doesn't get her two pistols until the very end. But like the trilogy that's come out, for most of the trilogy, she doesn't have the two Desert Eagles. She has a shotgun, assault rifle, handgun. My favorite, the bow and arrow, poison arrows, of course, and then she has the knife. Uh, but the movie was good. Um, the story was solid in my opinion. It even dealt with his with Nathan Drake's older brother, um, secondary characters you've known in the franchise. It had a lot of the things that you expect in the game franchise. Some of the scenes in the movie are stolen, well, pretty much stolen directly from some of the games. And if you're a video game fan, that's a good thing to see that the people who actually are in charge of the movie looked at the source material, which this would be the video games, and made the movie accordingly. I liked it. I liked it. Is it my favorite movie? No. Was it pretty good? Yes, it was pretty good. Uh, Overall, I think I would give it. I give it an A minus, an A minus. For a video game movie, it is one of the best you're gonna see, and so far, it is not Super Mario Brothers. It is not Street Fighter. Um, it's more along with Mortal Kombat, the original movie, not Annihilation or the other ones that came out. Um, but it's a pretty good movie based on a video game, and the plot is there, the action is there, um, and it takes lots of aspects of the games and puts it on screen for followers of the game to see, recognize, and be proud that they follow the source material accordingly for some fan service. Because if a video game is made into a movie, you're basically trying to service the fans of the game, in my opinion. And that being said, I thought they did a good job of doing that. I wanted to see more puzzles and and more mysteries and unlocking more hidden rooms and doing more like exploring. But that's also what I look for in the games, which sometimes isn't in the games either. So I give it an A minus. Give it an A minus. It was solid, and if you like the video games, I do not see how you would not like that movie. Um, so that's my take on Uncharted. Last but not least, I believe it came out before Uncharted, but I didn't get a chance to see it until after. I had to go to had to see three movies in 2 days. So, because my schedule wouldn't permit it, I had to see one movie after Uncharted, even though it came out before Uncharted came out. And so, the last movie we're going to talk about today is Death on the Nile. It is a sequel to the Murder on the Orient Express movie. There was an old movie that got done years ago, decades ago, and then a updated version that got done within the last 5 years, I believe. And then Death on the Nile is a sequel to that movie. I'm gonna say it right now. Out of all the movies that I've talked about, Death on the Nile is the movie that I like the most out of all of them so far this year. I went into it with basically I'm kind of low expectations because it's kind of a mystery movie, kind of who done it as Murder on the Orient Express was. But how the movie was done, I thought the movie was very well done. Nice ensemble cast: Annette Bening, the same gentleman, Hercule Poirot, I think it was his name, something Kavanaugh, I can't think of what his name is. Letitia Wright, the Black Panthers, the Black Panther's sister, Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, Armie Hammer, the Lone Ranger, aka one of the Winklevoss twins. Russell Brand. It was a good ensemble movie, and it kept throwing me for loops. So as always, when I watch a movie, especially about a whodunit, I would think everybody wants to do it. If it's a mystery movie, whether it's Knives Out that came out previously, the other Murder on the Orient Express, any kind of movie with some mystery and whodunit, of course everybody is trying to figure out who did it using whatever they can to suss out the bad guy. And I have to say this: I had my idea who the killer was, and I was completely wrong. Not that person at all. Not that person at all. If you want to know the plot, basically, uh, it starts out with a one thing I think is great about it. It shows some of the backstory of one Mr. Hercule Poirot, the protagonist, and of course the greatest detective of all time in this universe of Death on the Nile and Murder on the Orient Express. It shows how he kind of became who he was with some backstory. Some apparently he was a soldier, and then the woman he loved, and how he got here to the current present. It was a good movie. If you didn't know, it's basically Gal Gadot and Armie Hammer married, and they're going on their honeymoon on the Nile on the riverboat, and then people turn up dead, and it's all about who did this and trying to figure out what are the motives and how it's going to happen. It kept throwing me for a loop, and I have to say that I did not know who the killer was until Mr. Perot told me who it was. The story is good, the acting is good, the visuals are good. Of course, it's on the Nile River, so I don't know if they're actually on the Nile or not. It could have been just a green screen. I don't know if they actually went on location to Egypt to go on the Nile to visit pyramids or not. But the movie looked amazing. The acting I thought was great. The suspense on par. And as far as a whodunit, I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure it out, like I said, until the detective himself told me and showed me who the killer was. For me personally, when I left that theater, pleasantly surprised. And for that, I will give Death on the Nile a solid A rating. A rating. Not A plus, not A minus, a solid A for a whodunit. It could be done better, but I don't know how. I'm not saying it's the greatest of all time. As far as movies go, it was a good movie, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. More than I thought I would. And for me, it's a rarity to go into a movie and leave the movie theater pleasantly surprised. Sometimes you go see a movie and it's good, but you expected it to be good, and it just met your expectations. This one went far past what I expected the movie to be, and I couldn't be more. I couldn't be more pleased with it. And so that's it. That's kind of. I know we went over a lot of movies fast. I think we did 5 movies in like 25 minutes. That's about 5 minutes per movie, minus one small, uh, hiatus. So I get me a quick drink, which I will finish soon to get this taken care of. But that's what we got going on. I needed to get these done now because if you're unaware, today is March 4th, and the Batman is officially out. I'm gonna see this weekend. I will come back to you guys on Tuesday with the review of the Batman, hands down. Good, bad, takeaways. I'll let you know what I think and whether you should see it. I'm already gonna say, if you're a comic book fan, you should see it, because why would you not? I think they've long since course corrected for movies like Daredevil, Elektra, that kind of thing. So I was hesitant about Pattinson playing Batman, but from what I've seen in the trailers, it's made me a believer and made me want to go see the movie. And on top of that, I like how they have the Riddler in the movie as one of the antagonists. Um, so that's on Tuesday. That being said, uh, on Sunday, 4th, 5th, 6th, on March 6th, if I'm not mistaken, um, going holler at the Ashen One Maine in his new domicile. He is migrated from the hilltop to a new location, which he has dubbed the Oasis, and we're trying to do a show on Oasis. Of course, we're trying to do a show at the Oasis as soon as possible and bring you guys more content. So look for us on Sunday. Me, the Ashen One, at the Oasis, and all the premiers who can make it, if they can. And then outside of that, you're gonna see me on Tuesday for a sanctuary synopsis of the Batman, starring Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz. That's all I got. That's all I got. Um, it's about time for me to wrap this thing up. I do have to work later today, so without much further ado, it's your boy Snacks live from the Sanctuary. Shouts out to the other pre-gamers, Blacks, Maine, Dunn, Clutch. Love you, the homeboy James. Appreciate all you help you do everything you got going on for us. You know what I'm saying? Ed, appreciate everything you're doing for us too. We're gonna bring you content. We're gonna bring you content. It's just taking us time to figure out the best way. If you don't mind, I hate seeing this in videos on YouTube and everything else, but it's a part of the process. So if you like this video and want to see more, please like and or subscribe so we can get some feedback. Also, any kind of you know, any opinions or any kind of input you want to give, hey, we're open to that. Like I said, I'll be back on Tuesday with a sanctuary synopsis of the Batman, and I'll try to go back to the format I originally said: movie in theater, streaming movie, and then maybe like a movie that you may have missed and may have came out within the last 10 to 30 years, and we'll do that. I already have an idea of what I'm going to do for the movie for the movie on streaming. I think it's going to be No Exit if I can manage to get that taken care of. And then as far as the throwback movie that you may have missed, hey, I have to figure it out before then. Until then, as always, pregame responsibly. And we out. Holla. This is the pregame show. It's not the game pre-show. It is our favorite show because it is our show.